Remember all that avoid eggs advice we grew up with?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out it might have been cracking the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah, we're doing a deep dive today into new research on eggs and their potential impact on brain health, specifically dementia.
Interesting.
Get ready for some surprises. We've got recent studies and expert opinions, sources like the Journal of Nutrition, Nutrients Journal, insights from dietitians and biochemists, the works.
Cool.
It's fascinating how our understanding of dietary cholesterol has evolved, right?
It really is. The advice to avoid cholesterol-rich foods, like eggs, was like the thing for years. But the science is way more nuanced now.
Yeah, I remember hearing cholesterol is bad, like my whole life, basically.
Yeah.
So what's changed?
Well, we used to think dietary cholesterol was like the main driver of high cholesterol levels in the body.
Right.
But now we know our bodies actually produce most of our cholesterol.
Oh.
And the mix of fats and carbs in our diet plays a much bigger role.
So the food itself isn't the only factor. It's more about how our bodies process it.
Exactly. For instance, there was a study from the Duke Clinical Research Institute.
Okay.
And they found that eating 12 eggs per week didn't significantly increase.
Wow.
Yeah. 12 eggs, participants' cholesterol levels, compared to eating less than 2.
12 eggs a week. Were there any negative effects at all in that Duke study?
There weren't any significant negative effects.
Damn me eggs.
Yeah, in that particular study. There's even this theory about a hormone called choline, which might regulate cholesterol production when we eat those cholesterol-containing foods.
Okay, so maybe eggs aren't the villains we thought they were. But you mentioned brain-boosting powerhouses.
Yeah.
Are we saying eggs might actually protect against dementia?
That's what some studies are suggesting, yeah. There's a study in Chicago. They found that older adults who ate at least 1 egg a week had a 47% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those who ate fewer eggs.
That's almost cutting your risk in half.
Yeah, pretty significant.
Wow, those are some pretty compelling numbers. What's the secret weapon in eggs?
Well,
that might explain this protective effect.
Choline appears to be a key player. It's a vital nutrient for brain health.
Okay.
And acts as a precursor to acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter that supports memory and learning. The problem is our bodies often struggle to maintain sufficient choline levels as we age.
And I'm guessing eggs are a good source of choline.
You guessed it. One large egg packs about 150 milligrams of choline.
Okay.
Roughly 25% of your daily recommended intake.
Wow.
So it is a readily available and easily absorbable source.
So in addition to being like a really convenient source of protein, eggs deliver this brain-boosting nutrient that becomes even more important as we age.
Exactly.
Now I'm starting to see why you call them powerhouses. Are there other good sources of choline besides eggs?
Absolutely. You can also find it in foods like fish, beef, soybeans, and cruciferous vegetables.
So it's all about variety in the diet, but it sounds like eggs have earned their place back on the table.
Yeah.
Especially if we're thinking about long-term brain health.
I'd agree with that. And there's more to the egg's nutrient arsenal than just choline.
Really?
Yeah, they also contain lutein.
Okay.
It's an antioxidant that helps protect against oxidative stress.
Hold on. Oxidative stress.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for me a bit? What exactly is happening there?
Well, oxidative stress is essentially an imbalance in the body where you have too many free radicals, they're unstable molecules, and not enough antioxidants to neutralize them.
Okay.
These free radicals can damage cells, including brain cells, and that's where lutein comes in.
I see.
It acts like a shield protecting those cells from damage.
So it's like a cellular battle going on.
Kind of.
And we need those antioxidants on our side to protect our brains.
That's a great way to put it. And eggs provide us with some of the ammunition we need.
I like that.
And let's not forget about DHA.
Okay.
It's an omega-3 fatty acid found in eggs. DHA has been linked to reducing amyloid beta, a protein that can disrupt brain cell function.
So we've got choline for memory and learning, lutein for protecting brain cells, and DHA for fighting off harmful proteins.
Exactly.
It sounds like eggs are packing a triple threat when it comes to brain health.
They really are. And for people who are at risk of or living with dementia, those nutrients can be particularly beneficial. Plus, let's be practical for a sec. Eggs are easy to make, easy to digest. That can be a big help for seniors or their caregivers who are looking for quick, nutritious meals.
This is all really interesting.
Yeah.
But I can't help thinking about that elephant in the room we've been dancing around.
You mean the fact that eggs are high in saturated fat and cholesterol?
Exactly. We've come a long way from eggs are bad.
Right. Eggs might be brain-boosting heroes, but what about those potential downsides?
It's a valid concern, and it is crucial to acknowledge, both sides of the story.
Mm-hmm.
While dietary cholesterol may not have as significant an impact as previously thought,
Right.
it's still a factor.
Okay.
Especially when considered alongside saturated fat.
So how do we reconcile those potential risks with all the potential brain benefits we've been talking about?
It comes down to balance and understanding your individual risk factors.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
Some people are genetically predisposed to high cholesterol, while others can eat a dozen eggs a week.
Right.
Without seeing a significant change in their levels.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the food itself,
right,
but also about how our individual bodies respond to it.
Precisely. Knowing your family history and getting regular cholesterol checks are essential for making informed dietary choices. So where do eggs fit into the big picture of a heart-healthy diet? Are they friend or foe?
Well, the American Heart Association recommends consuming about 7 eggs per week.
Okay.
Or roughly 1 per day to help manage cholesterol levels.
That's more than I expected.
Yeah.
It seems like a reasonable amount to enjoy the potential benefits without going overboard.
Exactly.
Everything in moderation.
It's about moderation and informed choices.
Right.
And remember, eggs are just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
A heart-healthy diet should also be rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein sources.
So it's less about demonizing specific foods.
Right.
And more about creating a balanced and sustainable dietary pattern that considers individual needs and preferences.
Absolutely.
There was one more study I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
It's a study from China that provides further evidence for the potential link between egg consumption and a lower dementia risk.
Okay.
In this study, daily egg eaters had a lower risk of developing dementia.
Interesting.
Compared to those who ate eggs weekly or monthly.
Huh.
But you mentioned earlier that research is ongoing.
Yeah.
Are there any limitations to this particular study we should keep in mind?
There are a couple points to consider.
Yeah.
The study didn't measure the precise quantity of eggs consumed, and the group of participants who developed dementia was older, which could have influenced the results.
So while it's tempting to draw a direct line between more eggs, less dementia, we need to be cautious about overinterpreting the findings.
Right. That's the nature of science.
Right.
It's an ongoing process of discovery.
Exactly.
This study raises an interesting question, though.
Yeah, okay.
Does the frequency of egg consumption matter more than the quantity?
Interesting.
This is definitely an area where further research is needed.
So the egg saga continues. What I find really interesting is how this conversation has shifted over time. We've gone from fearing eggs to considering them potential allies in the fight against cognitive decline. It's a great example of how scientific understanding can evolve and challenge long-held beliefs.
Absolutely. It reminds us to stay informed, to be open to new information, and to keep questioning what we think we know.
So you're saying we shouldn't be afraid to change our minds when new evidence comes to light.
Exactly. That's the beauty of science.
Right.
It's a dynamic process, always seeking deeper understanding.
It's like we're peeling back the layers of an onion.
Yeah.
Or in this case, an egg, to reveal the complexity and nuance
I like that.
of how our dietary choices impact our health.
I like that analogy. And speaking of peeling back layers, this whole conversation has really made me think about other foods or habits we might be overlooking.
That's a great point. It's like this deep dive on eggs has opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
Right.
It makes you wonder what other villains in our diets might turn out to be heroes in disguise.
Exactly. And what other seemingly small changes could have a big impact on our well-being. This deep dive has been fascinating.
It has.
But it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
It feels like we've gone on quite the journey with this deep dive on eggs.
We have.
We've debunked some myths, explored some intriguing evidence, and maybe even discovered a newfound appreciation for this versatile food.
I think so.
It certainly has made me reconsider my own relationship with eggs.
Really?
Yeah, I used to limit them because of the whole cholesterol thing, but now I'm seeing them in a whole new light.
That's great.
It's a great reminder that what we think we know today can change as new research emerges.
Absolutely. And that's exactly the kind of shift in thinking we were hoping to inspire with this deep dive.
Yeah.
So think about your own dietary choices and health goals.
Mm-hmm.
Are eggs something you currently eat?
Yeah, good question for our listeners.
Could they have a place in your diet, given what we've discussed?
It's not about making radical changes, but about being mindful and informed. Maybe you already eat plenty of choline-rich foods.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe adding an egg or two a week is a simple tweak that fits into your lifestyle.
Exactly.
The key is to be proactive and take ownership of your health.
Absolutely.
Research choline-rich foods.
Mm-hmm.
See what appeals to you.
Yeah.
And experiment with ways to incorporate them into your meals.
It's about finding what works for you and makes you feel good.
And that brings us to our final thought we want to leave you with.
Okay.
If a simple dietary change, like increasing egg consumption, could potentially have a noticeable impact on dementia risk, what other everyday habits might we be overlooking that could significantly impact our health and well-being?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is. It really is.
What if we've only scratched the surface of the simple yet powerful things we can do to improve our lives?
Maybe this deep dive on eggs is just the beginning.
Yeah, I think so.
What other dietary villains might turn out to be heroes in disguise?
Good question.
What other hidden gems are waiting to be discovered in the realm of nutrition and healthy aging?
Who knows?
The possibilities are endless.
They are.
And the journey of discovery is just beginning.
Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep those minds sharp.
Great advice.
Until next time.
Thanks for joining us.